Well, good morning. Welcome back in. This is Real Man Speaks. This is Brent in the car yet again. The start of a new week. Okay, good morning. Thanks for listening. I'm finding these podcasts, the quality of the recording isn't too bad. So if you're feeling that this quality is not great, then please get in touch. There's a huge amount of effort that goes into creating these podcasts, and I'm keeping this lifeline alive because a couple of friends have said to me and have expected through the Real Man project material, articles and commentary. So we're just continuing. We could be speaking to thin air, and I do know that occasionally my wife, as she said the other day, had actually listened to one of these podcasts and had some positive feedback. So thank you, love. That's great. So yeah, there you go. You might even think, this guy's off, or he might have a different viewpoint that I don't agree with. That's fine. This may not be for you. But I generally, my aim is to encourage guys and challenge, and also hopefully shape mindset. And why should I be doing that? Well, recently I turned 51, so there's a little bit of life experience there, and you may have come across some of my earlier work in regards to divorce and kind of changing very poor, in fact, indoctrinated mindset that I think society kind of dictates. But we're pushing back. So last week I talked about a range of subjects involving the need to fight in life. So we need to have something built in that isn't an expectation of being handed life and the disproportionate reality that we're kind of being told that life can be this amazing thing. There's no doubt there are highlights in our lives that really do lift us to, or elevate us to a point of feeling like, yeah, this is great. I just want to stay in the moment. This is amazing. And highlights like getting married, highlights making love, having a child and raising that child, but the glossy picture, the Instagram pic of the moment where everyone's big, beautiful smiles and everything's so warm and friendly, and that whole, it's almost like we intuitively feel that's something that's missing in my own life. That's something that I want. We feel attracted to it. But we all know deep down, as you get older, that's not reality. That's disproportionate to actually what reality is and living our lives. We don't want to live in that extreme state of constant happiness, and we certainly don't want to be down the other end in that extreme state of depravity or depression, or that oblique feeling that life isn't worth living. Again, if you're experiencing, if the black dog's on the back doorstep, I'm glad that he's on the back doorstep. And I want to say, the only way you can take hold of some of the things that are causing you to feel down and depressed, I understand depression. I know exactly where people are coming from when they say, words just aren't enough. I want to say, when you climb a big mountain, words are cheap, but I can advocate for the fact that if you, like a mountain, when you climb a mountain, chip away a daily process of at least saying one thing positive, at least experiencing one positive thought, at least experiencing one little ounce of success, and you do that on a daily basis, this all adds up. they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. And so many events of being, filling your bag up, filling up that cup. A lot of people say your glass is half full. Well, I'll say a lot of people's glass is empty. So being half full is actually the next step. We need to embrace the need to live life well, and that's a skill. And this is the role of parents in order to train our children the way they should go, to train our children to actually adapt, grow, mature, and become good citizens, and really become endowed with skills to be able to live life well. Money's not going to solve that, and a lot of people get into the money trap. Sex isn't going to solve that. Alcohol, good times, hedonistic living is not going to solve that. Why isn't it going to solve that? Because it's fleeting, because it's momentary, and lives that we're living built on good foundation means that we can build and grow, and we can have meaningful relationships. And society needs to be aware that the breakdown has been the fact that a lot of people try to do this without family, without support, without community. Yesterday we were at a birthday party. I was just thinking about that point, about raising children, and incredibly, my brother-in-law's son has just turned 2, and he's a great little kid, and he's he's got some interesting names. He calls me Blent, which is hilarious, Uncle Blent. And the family were there, everyone was there, and the comment was made, I think it was my brother-in-law who said, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village, and I was impressed, because it does take a village. It takes a raft of positive influences, of support, of the times where life does get tough, to have people on hand who without even thinking about their own needs are willing to go through with that. So where is all this, today's point, where is it all heading? Well, I wanted to look back to what I was talking about the, living well. And I was thinking about this yesterday, how this LGBTQ social justice warrior movement, this expression of grief or a grievance, is actually all based in victimhood. That there is something going on that is oppressing these people, and they are victims. It's as you step back to look at this whole thing, the narrative is that somebody has wronged somebody or wronged me, and I have subjugated my rights, or I have been oppressed and I don't have my rights expressed. When we look at some of the arguments, we can say, well, there is enough rights there to be able to be happy, but it's this unsustainable or this growing need to be heard, to have an audience, to voice a grievance, and all of it, I believe, is victimization, victimhood, living in this space where you're the victim. It's nice that some can feel that they're making an industry out of it. You're the victim, I can help you, and they monetize it. Well, I just want to get to the point of how this thinking and this kind of mindset can roll off very slowly, as if it was not even there, into our own lives. Because last week I said, you got to fight. If you want to live life and have a great life, you've got to fight for it, because the world is not endowed to actually give you what you need. I didn't recommend to anyone to say, okay, you need to get out there and rob, steal, and climb the ladder and treat other people worse and treat other people badly so that you can get what you need. But I'm saying deep down, life's not going to give you what you need unless you fight for it, unless you're willing to go through the tough stuff, because there is this thing, and I believe it's happened to me, that bad things happen to good people. People don't know why, and there's this emptiness that's left. Why? But there are no answers. So we were watching a movie yesterday, and it was powerful. It was incredibly intense. Guys, I don't want to put a spoiler alert on, but the movie's called Hostiles. The lead character is, I think it's Christian Bale, I'm not sure, and he's a US Army guy, and you'll see this in the trailer. I'm not going to give you a spoiler or reveal any of it, but there's a scene where they come across a wife where a raiding, incredibly evil Indian party, not the nice Indians, but the bad dudes, have wiped out her family, and there's this incredible pain where she's lost everything, her husband and her 3 daughters, her baby, everything, and how she deals with that when they come across it, the whole thing. And one of the Indians in the party had mentioned that there's a strength within her, and she had to keep not only keep from grieving, and there was that intense pain. I've seen it before in real life, when it comes from a female, that cry, that grief, that sense of just, that's something else. That's next level when you see grief at that stage. And here was my wife and I sitting there experiencing it, and we had heavy hearts. We were absolutely involved with the movie. It just set an atmosphere of complete devastation. And I saw her, this lady, she had to deal with not only the instant grief that she felt, it raised a lot of feelings within me about losing my family, losing the family unit, and I was thinking about, and I don't know how it came about, but I was thinking about how, when I looked over how in my when I got remarried, there is this, as I try to articulate this unscripted, there is a sense that you've been harmed, you've been, and if you want to, know a little bit about my story, go and have a look at some of the divorce series. There are 3 or 4 sort of talks, 20-minute talks covering that off, not about me, but about divorce and about how you can get through it. So if you're at this time, you're experiencing something that's going on and it's leading to separation and divorce, I recommend that you get someone's first-hand opinion, such as myself. Moving on, it's about getting back up. The fight is not about just maintaining or having such a strong will that you're not going to bend. No, it's about the other part of it too, is when you fall over, when bad things happen to you, when to some extent you might have had a car accident, you might have lost somebody. This sense of this injustice, fighting or having the will to fight means you've got to actually say, I'm not going to dwell there, I'm not dwelling on that thing, but I am going to live. I'm not going to die, I'm going to live. And I looked across at my wife and I said, I'm so glad that she came into my life and I was able to grasp the fact that this could be a great new beginning for me, regardless of the pain, because it doesn't just stop at loss or of a divorce, it actually spills out into the children. And one of my kids is just having great difficulty with the whole thing, and she doesn't really, for some reason she's got anxiety, and we're trying to work through so that I can spend more time with her. And I tell you what, it breaks my heart every day, to the point where I get frustrated, and I'm carrying this thing, and I just, it just hurts. It's a scar that's not healing very well, and for that reason, the pain that still exists, I still embrace life. I still have to say, you know what, that's a bad thing, and that could improve. It could get worse. It could be a whole raft of outcomes. But I'm going to carry on living and doing life as best as I can, and experiencing some of life to its fullest. Why? Because ultimately my purpose, as I see it, is to please the one who created me. And I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be a victim of another person's decision, who said, "No, we're done, that's it, we're over," and took the kids. I don't want to be a victim of losing a job and then saying, "Well, I used to earn great money and now I've got this rubbish job." I don't want to be a victim of the sales opportunity that slipped through my fingers, and 6 months later I'm still wondering about the future. Wow, will I ever make that big sale, because my colleagues are bringing in 7-figure incomes and I'm just barely scraping through on a 6-figure or a 5-figure even. I don't want to be a victim to a global crisis, although it happens. I don't want to be a victim to someone else's judgment, where they have said to me, Brent, you're just an idiot, or Brent, you're just full of crap, or Brent, what you say you don't live by. I'm not going to be a victim to their judgment. And so you can hear my heart. What I'm trying to say to you is, this is going on regularly, this resignation to a victim mentality. So I just want to bring that up as we bring this to a close. Guys, as I say, this is all about choice. This is about mindset. And so in your daily regiment, perhaps have a thought or two. Perhaps start to address some of the thinking about maybe where you're at, whether or not you're susceptible to a victim mentality. Take control of your life. Allow some of the bad stuff to actually work itself through, and start to see that opportunity can be created. Your future, your tomorrow, live today under your control, making decisions and chipping away at things, having a positive input on a daily basis and working at it. And you will find fulfillment in the fact that you're in control of your life, not others, and not what others say. So I leave you with that Monday morning thought. Guys, appreciate your support, appreciate all that you do for me in the background, and let's do life well. This is The Real Man, and Real Man Speaks, Brent, signing out. Have a great week and a great day.